What's up, YouTube? Is this thing on? What's up, YouTube? This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. I feel like my mic, I don't know, I feel like the recording program, it's not jumping as much as I would think it is. Maybe it's not because I'm yelling. Like, I'm pretty close to the mic and I don't see the little signifying circle jumping too hard, which would signify to me that it's like really picking up audio. If I yelled, it probably would, but I'm not gonna yell. I feel like yesterday, me ranting, I almost killed my voice. Almost. Trying not to curse on this video. I'm trying to really trying hard to like make this not so unfriendly to various ages and stuff, and like I try, but at the end of the day, by the time I usually edit everything, review it myself, see all the things I said, to see if there's anything that YouTube can possibly shut me down for or whatever, I usually end up hitting not for kids, because I'm like, well, I probably said a couple things in there, it's probably not really appropriate for kids per se, but perfectly fine for adults to listen to. And the only type of adults that this may not be safe, quote safe for, is if those of you who are sissy boys and girls who have no backbone, and you can't handle the truth, nor can you handle any form of criticism that goes against your opinion, so you act like a little baby and talk about hate speech and talk about this speech and that speech, whatever, and aggressions and mini aggressions and microaggressions and microwave aggressions and hot pocket aggressions and whatever other little fancy BuzzFeed word or whatever that she came up with. So, in this rant, first off, it's Sunday, and it's 6/26/2022, and it's not the Lord's Day. This is the age of Lucifer, and so on and so forth. Okay, so F that noise. This is not the Lord's Day. So what I was going to talk about was a couple of things, and I'm going to actually talk about my birth and my personal conception of myself as one of these points, and talk about the sheer idiocy and the hypocrisy, especially with Christians, black Christians, and their ideals and ideas that are so retarded and ass backwards about like certain things. Okay, so you got this whole notion a lot of times, like you hear this classic story, and the thing about me is I'm a black male, I'm a straight black male. It's not that my father wasn't there, because my father was, the thing was, he was in my life, but he was very much not in my life at the same time. Like, he's very much removed at the same time, like very much always doing his own thing. He's very much kind of like a entrepreneur-y type of person, whether I don't think I'm really good at it. I'm trying to eventually be successful at it, but I think that's where I actually get that from, is like not wanting to really ever be just a worker, always wanting to try to find a way to be my own boss. My father seems to have that same kind of mentality, seems to always have. So he wasn't there. Like, when he was there, like one thing I can say that's like, not one thing, but something good that I can say that's good about my father is, in my opinion, he was like a very fair man. He was a very like he's like a very fair person, at least. He doesn't seem to go, but he doesn't really perpetuate a lot of like BS and nonsense either. He tends, whether he's right or wrong, because I disagree with certain things he may think sometimes, but generally he seems to really be like not he's not by any means a fool. He's not dumb. He's really not. He's not. He's actually very intelligent. You know what I mean? But he's polite though. He's one of those people to where he's very polite. He doesn't go out of his way really to ever start anything. He's very not well. He's more on the quiet side. He's a very masculine, very strong individual. So the thing is this is it's not like he's one of those people that I can say like, oh, all this and that, and even like my mom too. It's like, oh, I can't like I'm not gonna talk like a bunch of just like crap about them in that way because that wouldn't be really fair or true. But there are some key things that I have to touch on, right? These are some key things that I have to really like touch on because this is more of a educational type of video. This is more of a educational, just to give you some ideas and some things that maybe you didn't consider. Okay, things that maybe you missed that maybe you missed when you were thinking about like your own upbringing or your own birth. If you don't have to be black necessarily, but this just kind of goes more. This is more of a typical black thing because of the church, because of the Christian Pentecostal type of atmosphere in the air about like that people seem to have. Like so. You got this idea where you're in this Christian church and you got this idea first off that like premarital sex is a sin, right? Is a so-called sin sin, right? But then you also have the idea that God will forgive you of those sins. But then not to mention that, you know, half of these people that have these so-called sinful attributes, the thing is they well know that they are going to go out and sin again and again and again simply because they have a sex drive. But the thing is they lie to themselves and say that, oh, God is going to forgive me. And in essence, really, there's no God that you can pray to in that regard, like a Christian God that they believe. That doesn't exist. There's no that God is not there that will so-called forgive you for doing something that like isn't wrong. It's just irresponsible. It's irresponsible in a couple of ways. It's irresponsible because one, if you're going to talk about your actual spiritual makeup, your actual spiritual person, it could be detrimental to yourself that you are taking onto yourself other like energies, negative things from some person that necessarily you think but you don't really know the full repercussions of what's going on. Then also you have to realize if you actually do have a child, you got to realize now, like, are you stable? Do you have the money for that child? Are you ready as a person, as an adult, to raise that child? Are you going to realize that you're bringing this child into a world of predators and all type of sexual deviance and just all types of other twisted kids? And are you realizing that you're bringing this kid into necessarily a type of like jungle of sorts or a wild circus? Are you like, do you really get the gravity of this? Like, are you sure that you have the money, the finances, the legacy, the things that you could give this child a life where they're by no means can they complain and say you didn't give them like every opportunity? You know what I mean? Like you were financially secure, you were ready, but nah, what you get is you get this deluded, arrogant and self-righteous type of people where they believe that, number one, this supposed God that they're serving by simply going to some gathering on Sundays, maybe Fridays with a Bible study, maybe tent services, maybe some shout and stomp and hit the ground with your feet and dance around, praise break, black Negro shout party. It's like where people make fake prophecies, supposedly speak in tongues and heal people, and then literally you have all types of weird entities and things in that church setting, sometimes jumping on people, going wild, doing weird things that people aren't even noticing sometimes. And, they're thinking that everything is like the presence of God and the power of God and all this and the Holy Ghost. And you got all this nonsense, like, all like, you basically have like the most ill-informed people that know nothing about any type of spirituality. They really know nothing about the world of the spirit world they claim to, but they really have no tools. All of their tools are by like hearsay, things they read from their phony Bible, things that they believe. But in the like kind of like in the truth of the matter is, what you really have is a bunch of people giving themselves false delusional ideas of that they are doing something that gives them supposed security, help in their life, protection, things of that nature. You even have this deluded idea that, like, because you have these two people supposedly that are already, half of the time these people have already been having like sexual intercourse with each other. They've already been having an intimate relationship, whatever. And then you could even have, the sad thing is, the man, mostly in this instance, he's not even really planning to marry this girl. He's just kind of holding, it's like, he could be cheating, like in, my case, like the parents, there's like cheating with the father, and, it's like he's all over the place. He's dipping his stuff all over different areas, and it's just like I don't want to say it, but a crap show. It's chaos. And then you have the foolish woman who is, because her mind is in a different place, and she's not really like a more she's not more deceptive or predatory in any way, so she's not really like being what's the word, she's not being like, she's not, there's no infidelity there with her at all. It's just that she's just stupid, and she's more of the victim, if you know what I mean. She's just more on the dumber side. Like, so you got the woman who thinks she's a good Christian woman, and she doesn't even really ever ask the question, like, if your God is so this or that or whatever, why would he be letting you make so many mistakes? Why is there no like in harsh enforcement? Why is there nothing that would cause him to give you signs and like hit you with things to discern, to make you be able to discern that what you're doing is not only wrong, but it's detrimental to you? No, it's because there's really nothing there. It's because the idea of that God even being there, that presence or whatever, is all your own fabrication. That is all your own thoughts, your own biases, your own ways of coping with your reality that is bleak and dark. And I'm saying this to say, like, with Satanism and with the occult, it's actually, it's much different, because there's a lot of reality there, opposed to you just fabricating things, you lying to yourself. And also, what I think is so retarded about it is the fact of, like, you don't realize these people like this that are out there, that are out here. You don't realize that, like, all you're doing is the same thing that the so-called people you call, like, worldly, secular sinners. You're like, oh, well, we fall down, saints, but we get up. You got these black Christians saying things like that, like, oh, we sin and we fall short of the glory of God, but we are forgiven and we get back up or wherever. It's like, it's like, so just just stop with the BS. It's like, see, the sad thing is, you actually believe that, as you actually believe that's what's happening. But what you don't believe is you're wasting your time, you're making mistakes, but you're never really owning up to the actual truth that all that pomp and all that ceremony and all that, like, other stuff that you're trying to say that you are in, and giving yourself this little badge of honor and slapping yourself on the back, and patting yourself on the back and saying, well, at least I know whose I am. I'm a child of God, and he's gonna this and he's gonna that. First off, if that was even a reality, you would have to do certain things to get a certain type of leverage a certain type of status with this supposed God. See, that's one thing that, like, I hate to say it, but a lot of people who call themselves Jews, you know what I'm saying, call themselves Israelites, call themselves this or whatever, they want to go that route. Some of them kind of understand that concept, at least, even though it's still incredibly flawed and it's still a bunch of nonsense, but at least they believe the more realistic concept of, like, you know, you would have to really be following these principles, these laws, these things. You would have to be living this, well, I wouldn't say sin-free life, but I'm saying you would have to be, like, really, really suffering and putting, like, you would literally be about to go crazy, because let's put it like this: you ain't masturbating, you ain't busting no nuts, there's no dilly in the drawer, there's no dildo in the drawer as a woman, or, I don't know, some of you men, as certain men, you know, you may have one in the drawer, you know, for yourself, that you're using for yourself, and, you know, at the same time, it's like, what I'm trying to say is, there would be no, hacks and cheats in porn and masturbation and, you know, your, Bible study buddy that you go to, that his name is so-and-so, and you guys, do read your Bible, but you inevitably break at some point in the week or month or whatever, and you know, you have sex like rabbits one cold, sad Christian day and feel like crap sort of after, but you know that because it's just natural and that's what people just do and you have a sex drive, obviously it would feel amazing when it's going on, but then after, you know, you're and I've seen this with people that aren't even Christians, people that call themselves Catholics and every other thing. It's like, then after the fact, you beat yourself up, and then you go and you probably don't even tell people in the supposed church that this is what you've been doing with maybe even more than one person, you know, and then you think you get on your knees and you ask God for forgiveness, and somehow, like, the matter is, no one but yourself is actually judging you for these actions anyway. It's not really that, like, God is judging you for this stuff. It's just you believe that, you know, and then you think, like, you think that you're forgiven, and you also think that now you're on a path to where God is going to be healing you, and He's going to inevitably reform you in such a way to where you have power over those urges, and it's just one big crappy crap show, like a lot of things are in the supposed black culture community of us Negroes and blacks. You know, this is one of those things to where it is just pure horse crap, horse poop. I'm trying to keep this clean, so I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm about to say. It is BS. It is nonsense. It's just as much nonsense, and I just as much despise this nonsense as how it is with these so-called down-low homosexual men, to where it's like, if you're a gay person, then it's like you're just gay, right? It's like, okay, we're not gonna stone you, right? We're not gonna, like, we may get, like, for instance, you may get angry, you may get annoyed when, like, you feel like a man is thinking that he's trying to, like, hit on you or something, or a gay man gives you some type of look, maybe looks at you too long or whatever, a certain type of way, or seems too eager to speak to you or something. Yes, as straight men, like, that crap, guys like me, that's gonna piss us off probably if we don't actually really know you, right? Now, the thing about gay men is I've known gay men to where I know that they're gay, and I've worked, let's say, like, yeah, because I've worked around men that have been gay, and the thing is, to a certain point, I realize that they are not, like, a pervert, they are not trying to, like, prey on me anyway, and I mean, if you know me, you know I'd probably break your jaw and probably put you in a chokehold anyway, so you probably wouldn't really want to be any type of predatory anything with me, because I'll probably kill you, to be honest, if you knew me. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that I look at them a different way, and I look at them with respect, because I know that they're, at the end of the day, they're just who they are. They're not, there's no, like, dark, nastiness about what they are. They're simply just a gay person. You know what I mean? And that's as far as that goes. It's not any more than that. But what I have disrespect for is people who, to where you are a coward. I will always say this. I don't care what sexual preference you are, or what lifestyle that you have. Cowardice will never fly with me. Cowardice, weakness, and deception is not ever a thing that should be glorified, praised, so easily accepted. Now, there is a gray area, I will say, and I will always say this. I'm always still G. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a G. There's no, so I know. Sometimes you have to deceive people to do things that are, I don't know, not necessarily so innocent. You know what I mean? Like, there's different things in this world like that you may have to do that are considered unlawful or this or that. I get that, right? I get that, and I respect your hustle, okay? I get what you're doing, you know? Like, there are certain things people have to do to make money, you know, there's certain... Look, I get it. I'm not... And another thing, I have to say this, too. I also don't believe in the fact that you just can't work an honest job, and you can't go to work, you can't make money honestly, and I never, ever promote people going to jail. I always say this, if you're gonna do some crazy shit, right? Like some crazy shit, some shit that could get you put under a jail, do not get caught then, right? Just don't. I would say, I would hope to God that you don't get caught. You better be really clever. You better just have luck on your side. You better really have the, I'm not going to say the power of God, but you better have the satanic blessings, and you better have, you know, the favor of many demonic kings and all type. You better have a real heavy covering on you that you don't get caught, right? Or that when you get in the courtroom, you make it out somehow, and somehow, you know, you just skated, because you never want to go to jail. You don't want to waste your life away behind bars. You don't want to be in that atmosphere. I will also say that. See, with me, it's not just black and white. It's not just like, oh, you know, you never break. No. You just, you know, hopefully you don't get caught, right? Just say. And I'm not saying that everything that's illegal I condone either. But some things I do, because I understand that sometimes you just have to make your money, and sometimes you just have to find your way to success, whatever avenue that is. If you're a person like me and all you want is to eventually have a career that's fulfilling, you want to be an entertainer, you want to make content, you want to have a wife, you want to have a security, then at that point, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, how you got there. It matters that you got there. I don't care what you had to do that was so-called illegal or whatever to actually get to that point. You know, because like I said, my mentality is gangster at the end of the day. It's like, okay, you know, like you get there how you get there, right? And keep yourself out of trouble, and make sure that you never, if you're doing anything to get caught, quote, you don't get caught, right? So, but one thing I disrespect is I disrespect this disgusting, some of these men with this whole, like I've seen these videos, like these church pastors, right? It's like, you know, you're in church, you're black, you're in church, and some way or another, you are a closeted homosexual person, and you are doing this whole fake this whole facade, living a double life. You're this pastor, this, that in the church, and then behind closed doors, you're straight up popping men in the booty cheeks or whatever, or you're taking thrusts to the anal cavity or whatever you're doing in giving BJs or whatever things that you're doing that you sure as hell would not just tell your congregation that you're. It's like, what? It's like, now you gotta understand that there are people that have to actually be bold in who they are, that are these gay men that will clearly tell you, like, yes, I am the size queen of this and that. Yes. I literally had a person I wouldn't say I know them, but I would say an acquaintance one time brag about that they were, you know, the proxy page size queen, probably take this mic and put it in their booty hole person. I just laughed because it was a funny joke, but one thing I realized was, like, this is what a person is supposed to be, or not supposed to, but what I'm saying is that person has to take a lot of courage to own who they are, in just be how they are and be who they are as they are. You know what I mean? Just like me being a Satanist, being demonic, me being a wild man, me being the person who people think is antisocial, a homophobe, violent, all this other stuff. Someone would even say, "Oh, Steve, you're probably a pervert," because the thing about me is I openly admit and openly talk about how, like, me included, us as human beings, are creatures generally who have a sex drive, and we generally, there's no like, there's no lying about this. Like, just like in the media, I talked about this yesterday on the rant about how is TikTok really racist. Like, everything is about sex at the end of the day. Not everything. I'm over generalizing it, but what I'm saying is you're a human being. Basically, half of your existence, I'll put it like that. Half of your existence is about you busting some type of nut. You know what I mean? It's like it's about you. Well, I don't think this is for kids anymore by any means. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. How I was thinking, if I keep it clean, if I don't curse, inevitably this will pan out to where I could put it, where it could. It's already gotten to adult already. Screwed. So, what I'm saying is, it is just like any other high or any other joyride that a human being can experience. Half of your existence is you trying to chase. You are trying to get that done at some point of the day, at some point of a month. I don't know. It is at whatever frequency and rate you are doing this. Or like if you have a partner, you are obviously you guys are doing this thing. Duh. It's like, so it is. You have to understand. Sex sells, and in the Satanic Bible it actually says that. It talks about how if nothing else can sell anything, then sex will sell it, right? It's the truth. This is what I mean about truth in between lies. Like, you got the Christian lies and then you have the satanic truth. It just so happens that the actual truth is coming from the place that they call satanic, right? And this is what I mean about it's the ass backwards mentality. Like, a person like myself, a lot of times I would call myself something that, especially quote Negroes, fear. They really fear this type of thing. They fear the demonic. They fear the dark. They look at it like, oh well, a guy who acts like a mama's boy, and he loves his mom so much. He's so fixated on his mama, his mom, his family. You know what I'm saying? He's so fixated on that, and he has all this like, oh, you would never this, you would never that, right? It's like they feel like that they can relate to that. Like, it's this sense of humanity, this sense of like, oh, we are similar to each other. I can trust you. I can predict you. You're not unpredictable. No, when you deal with a motherfucker like me, I hate to say it like that, but when you deal with a motherfucker like me, you deal with a evil, demonic, satanic bastard that makes decisions based on things that necessarily maybe you don't know about. You don't know what my next move is going to be. So that scares a lot of black so-called people. They don't want that. They think, oh, this guy, he's crazy, or he's erratic, or he's demonic, or he's a Satan. You're taught to fear that. You're taught to fear things you don't understand, especially in the black community, in the Christian. You're afraid of things like that because you look at that person as what they call a demon. He's a demon, or she's a demon. You can't trust. Oh, that motherfucker's crazy. Like, you can't. That whole thing. So I always get people. I've had people get that vibe from me before. Like, they look at me a certain type of way, like, oh shit, like, I don't really know. I don't really know about that guy. Some people, I don't really know. I don't want to chance it. Like, I don't really think I can really. I don't think I can really trust this person because what it is they're equating their preconceived notions about, like, the occult, Satanism, the demonic, supposed demonolatry, all that stuff that Hollywood perverts and distorts. They, especially being a very ignorant, unlearned black person who really hasn't done a lot of research, nor have they ever put themselves in the midst of anything, they automatically shoot to that. Like, that's that exorcist shit over there. I don't want to deal with that guy because I can tell that he's on some demonic shit, and I don't really know what he's gonna do. Like, I don't really want to put myself even near that. You know what I mean? And that's fine. because I don't want to be around a lot of people anyway, especially men. You know what I mean? I always have to stress the fact that I am not one of these bi, queer, none of that. I'm not even a friendly person. I'm not one of these kumbaya, let's hold hands, buddy buddy, bro, we're bros. Nah, I'm the fucking complete opposite of that. I'm the scary motherfucker that usually you always see alone and for a reason. And if I want anything to do with the person, which is usually me trying to talk to a bitch, thinking that I'm gonna exchange numbers, maybe she's gonna be like a fun friend, maybe a friend with benefits or something, or maybe, if I'm really lucky, an actual relationship or a wife inevitably or something, and I'll probably approach that chick because I approach people when I want something. I'm like an animal. I will always like myself to an animal, like this Satanic Bible says, which is for me is it's very relevant. I don't want to be bothered. I'm by myself for a reason. I keep to myself, and if I want something, I'll approach you, and if not, I'll keep my distance. And if you get too close, I might smack the fucking shit out of you and beat the shit out of you. That's what it is. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's a G mentality. That's the way I am. That's part of what I am, and I don't really give a fuck. See, the thing about me is I learned there's no sense in playing games and trying to impress people and trying to make people feel so comfortable in trying to fit into this universal mold that is sold to us in media. They sell this idea of, oh, I'm the all-accepting, all-friendly, all-loving black gentleman. It's like, there's gray area there, bro. It doesn't mean like you're all one thing because you're this or that, right? But one thing I don't feel like ever doing is I don't want to go out of my way to try to be so universally friendly to everyone to sell myself. You know what I mean? To try to like market myself as something that's false, that is not who I am. Just saying. Just saying. It's like sometimes I feel like I have it's like you remember when Eminem first came out with music, how his music was like the things he would talk about. That's how I feel a lot of times. Like I feel like people look at you where it's like they want you to be a certain way. They get offended. They feel uncomfortable about things that are actually who you are. And now you are stuck in a position to where, are you going to be who you really are, or are you going to be who you think makes people feel, quote, comfortable, or quote, this or that? Sometimes I'm just like, you know what, they're not worth it. There's nothing there that is worth it for me to waste my time to fake anything. So my authentic self a lot of times is scary to people, because they're like, I don't really understand it, nor do I want to understand it, nor do I trust it, nor do I feel comfortable around it. So but that's only some people. That's only some people. But enough about that. What I'm gonna say is, like I was saying before, the Christianity, the whole Christianity scene, and I'll call it the whole Christian sex culture, because I mean that's what it really is. It's Christian dating culture, Christian sex culture, Christian mentality, Pentecostal Christian, Kojic, Negro Christian, whatever you want to call it. It's not just Negroes, because there's all types of races in the Pentecostal church. There's all types of Kojic, but generally the majority is black. So hey, black people, if you're mad that you don't have a hold on anything, at least you already know you have a hold on that. We got that shit on lock. Where the Kojic shit is always been ours. It's ours. The style, everything about it, the shout music, the gospel. That's ours. It is. It is. I'm not gonna say it's a thing necessarily to be so proud about, but hey, we dominated that. Just like basketball, we have dominated it, so it's kind of ours. Just saying. Not and it is at the same time, but I'm just joking. But you get what I'm saying, right? Now that whole culture, I'm sorry, but I have to pick it apart, because some people, and I hate to say this is kind of what I do, but this is kind of what I do. I'm born this way. I was watching this video, and this guy, it was funny because he was talking about demonic possession and demonic possession stories, and talking about these evil entities and people getting possessed, children getting possessed, and I'm thinking, man, some of those behaviors, it's like I'm thinking you had to get possessed for that. I was born that way. Like I was already, like I was pretty much already born. I look at it like this: like I was born with a very satanic archetype already. Like I was pretty much born as a very adversarial, angry, violent archetype. And my mentality is always like, you know, I think that I can stomach you people, and I think that I can coexist if I get my way. But if I don't, I think that I'm going to lash out on everything. You know, it is what it is. I feel like that's kind of what it is, and that's over like generalizing, because that's not who I am. But the point is, let's say if I were to live a life to where I had zero fulfillment, zero pleasure, was always single, always alone, always had unwanted attention from people, always everything went wrong, then yes, of course, I would be angry at everyone around me every single time. And some days when I wake up in the morning, me being a single person that has to work a crappy little 9 to 5 boring retail type of job and all that, yes, half of the time, as soon as I get up in the morning, I am feeling like that exact person, where I'm just angry, violent, pissed off at every person I come in contact with, because I'm never getting anything that I actually really want. It's like I have to work, push a rock up a hill, and inevitably, possibly, at some point in time, come to a place to where I slowly start getting things that I want in my life. Like not being single, actually having people around me who want to do things with me that I want to do, people who actually are willing to make and help create content and do things, and so on and so forth. People who are not lazy, people who do not want to spend their entire day sitting on their decaying behind, sitting on their fucking stank, rotting ass, or the lack thereof, all day in one spot, because they are too lazy to do anything else, and they may even claim they want to do this or do that or change this or that, but they actually don't. They just want to sit around and get dopamine rushes and highs off of playing some video game on a screen. See, the thing is, I have to acquire certain things in life to be, quote, happy, right? Or else I'm a straight up monster. I'll still always be a monster. But the thing is, I am man enough to admit that, like, that's what it is. That's who I am. There's no front. There's no bullshit about it. This is not, I'm a child of God and blessed and highly favored. Nah, fuck all that bullshit. Shut up. It's like, shut all that stupid shit up right now. Cut all that bullshit. Shut the fuck up. God damn. It's like, just stop it. Because at the end of the day, that's not even who you actually are, some of you people. Some of you people have actually, this is the thing, and I was the same way when I was actually like a real devout Christian. And I mean seriously devout, like devout to the point to where I was like trying not to masturbate. I was doing NoFap before NoFap even had a name, before it was even called that. So it's like, because you're supposedly not supposed to do that as Christian. So the thing is this, it's like, you people don't even realize that you don't think it's, like, you think it's out of the realm of possibility that you could be a different person. That's one of your biggest issues. Like, you honestly think that you may even daydream sometimes. Like, you'll wake up, for whatever reason, your mind will trail off, and you'll see yourself in, like, a different setting. Like, you'll see yourself in a more rural area. You see a squirrel run up a tree. You see yourself with, like, you got your weed pen in one hand, and then you got, a cup of whiskey and the soda in the other hand, and all of a sudden, whether you're a female or male, you either, you see like a male rocking in a chair or a female rocking in a chair, depending on who's having this vision, and that's like your what do you call it, your boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, husband, wife, whatever it is. and you see them rocking in the chair, and then you see like a moth, like one of those white butterfly-esque moths, sort of flutter by, and then you're like thinking about how like you had like this party with some friends last night, or you went on this trip or whatever, and you have this air in your mind of this individual that is actually you. You have this air of like that they're like this sort of take no BS person, does what they want, is successful, and they really don't have to answer to many people because they're pretty much okay and they're just kind of enjoying their life and like finding new parts of themselves and shit. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, that's what I was actually like dreaming? Like, how was I, like, what? And then you start picking it apart in your little Christian mind, which you're taught. You're like thinking, like, I'm not supposed to drink. Wait, whiskey? And so you're like, blunts and friggin' weed pen. Like, what the, like, what the, did I actually have? Did I have tattoos in that daydream? Like, what was with that? You know what I mean? Like, what? Whoa, I can't be partying so. What's happening is this, and this happens to people. They may not even admit it. It happens to more heightened people too. More people that have a better like heightened sense of certain things. What it is that that possibility of that lifestyle or that you, that future you or whatever, is a very real thing. But what it is that is a part of yourself that you have psychologically suppressed, also with the help of all your Christian teachings and things you hear said from your family and your friends and your peers and your church this and your church that. Well, what you're seeing is you're actually the primitive part of your brain that is actually just actually pure, actually your authentic self, actually real, actually this, actually that, is literally just doing what it's doing. It's like you're in a state where you no longer have your like walls up that have been created, and now you are drifting and you are subtly seeing things that like it's almost like fate is telling you like, oh yeah, that's what you actually need to really be happy and really be fulfilled. It's not an addiction, it's not any type of like toxic this, it's not any type of this that, it's nothing that you have to like push and fight against and like push and try. No, it's your real, it's just a baseline. You just be yourself and inevitably you'll be happy, right? But see, the problem is, see, that whole Christian shit that you're all wrapped up in, that has robbed you of what actually could be, because it told you a lie. It told you an complete opposite, polar opposite lie. Like, it told you, oh, well, no, if you do this, this is how you're going to be happy. If you do what's right and you do what's right in God's eyes, or this or that, and the blah, 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 then you're going to have that serene, experience. But it's going to be, a God-centered, it's going to be, all this and that, but it's going to be wrapped up in the church and in a ministry and your calling, and all that is a fucking lie. Because the whole thing was built basically to keep you in bondage and to keep you under control of someone. But one thing that I don't know if some people have considered this is that, like, what started as maybe not such a super big thing has spiraled like all things do, because people are basically like people, how do I say this? Trends in beliefs can be contagious to people because they almost give someone a something to live for. They give people a foundation, so it's very easy for people to get sucked into those type of black holes. And that's Christianity is just another one of those black holes. That's how I'm gonna say it. So, like I said, that's not in a nutshell, but that's a big part of like the whole Christian culture, Christian, black Christian, dating life, black Christian life just in general, kids out of wedlock, all type of shit. It's like, how the hell do you think you could live in the ghetto if you live in the ghetto? See, luckily I was grateful to not live in the ghetto as a child, but most likely you are in the ghetto. You're in the ghetto. You're black. How? It's like, oh my god. And I know, like, some people, maybe they got saved from a lot of negative stuff by church, which is a good thing. If you can, I'm not going to say it's good necessarily that you're with that, but I'm saying it's better that you save yourself from certain trouble regardless. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't even mix. It's like, you really are. You mean to tell me that your ass is gonna go? You're shit. I mean, you may be in a place where you don't even have anything else but other black people to even fuck. So you're probably going, you're fucking these black dudes. You're fucking this dude here. You fuck this dude there. You think you're a saint or whatever you are for like 3 months, if you can even go that long, and then next thing you know, you females are going and you're fucking some dude. You're fucking some dude uh every this month, because like, you actually, every time this happens, you think that you are like saved and delivered and this and that. You kid yourself, and next thing you know, you just break again, and then you ask God to forgive you for your so-called sins, you dumb bitch. And then another thing is, you're probably, what's funny? I bet you the down low, or the gay people, the gay dudes, most likely, they're probably getting more than you're getting, because they have less of a, you know what I mean? It's like they're more secretive, so they're probably getting more than while you're actually probably holding out to do something. They're probably doing all type of shit. You know what I mean? They're doing, or some of them probably already even know the bullshit. Like, they know, you know what? There's no saving me. I'm just who I am. So I'm just doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? For now, you know what I mean? That's probably what they're doing. And then you dumb bitches. You're just like, you're at war with yourself. That's another thing about women. Women a lot of times have a complex to where they're at war with what they are. It's like, because it's not acceptable for them to necessarily be who they are, so they have to be at war with what they are. Where us as men, we deal with that in a different way, with like people thinking we're violent, thinking this and that, and toxic. But we a lot of times know what we are, and we don't have shame in who we are. You know what I mean? And actually, we're praised for being whores. Like, we're praised because we get a lot of ass. If we do, we're praised for it. We get praised for it instead of being called whores and all this shit. Even though we all just are whores. Like, we're all fucking whores because we're human beings with a sex drive. But the thing is, we as men, just, it's a little different. But regardless, it's all bullshit, man. I mean, it's one thing if you actually, for your own self-respect, I admire it more if it's for your own dignity and self-respect, that you don't want to fuck every hole or everything or every pole or whatever you're into that is in front of you, because it's giving itself to you, you're there and you can. That's more respectful, in my opinion, than for you to think that it's because some god's punishment or some god's wrath or some sin or whatever. I actually strongly admire individuals like myself, even sometimes, that think like, well, would I want to actually fuck this chick? This chick isn't even, like, I could fuck a more attractive chick than this. Like, I'm not gonna ever jump in this chick's messages, because even though I know she probably would be down to fuck, and I could probably easily get it, probably like, I'm not gonna say in minutes, but I'm probably gonna say in like days. Like, there are some girls that I would imagine, if I would hit them up, that I know of, not saying girls that are like, that I ever work with, or any girls that are like on my friends list, but I'm saying girls that like I have heard things of, that are in areas, let's just say, in this city, that I've heard things of. There's some girls where I'm thinking, yeah, if I, or in other, other states or whatever, other cities, yeah, it's like, I'm thinking, if I was there, shit, if I called them and said, hey, I want to come over and hang out and do in this bullshit, right? I know some girls. I don't know them like well, but there are some girls I do know that, yes, they would be down to fuck, and yes, I could get the pussy in a couple of days. Like, there literally was one girl that asked one time, I'm not going to mention her name, but she actually messaged me and wanted to come to this state, in this city, and wanted to stay with me. And I'm thinking, like, not stay, but, stay some days with me. And I'm thinking, no, because I'm sorry, it's just like, you're just not what I'm looking for. You're not that attractive. Like, you're not the type of chick that I want to be in my house for like 3 days, and I know half of all we're doing is just going to be smash, 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 smash. Me wasting calories, me getting sweaty, You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just smash all day like some rabbits because, you know, just because you're attractive enough that I would do that with you. No. It would have to be a certain type of chick for me to really want that. Like, you have to, you know, if you're, basically what I'm saying is if you're ugly even, nah. Not just because you're there. I know guys that literally, chicks that it's like, why would you even fuck that? But they would just fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, they would just because they can. And it's like, nah. So like I'm saying, especially people, let's say this is the most, where I put the most respect on any human being, right? The most respect I give to any person is a person that, they look at a person, they're like, yes, I would smash. Yes, I would do the rabbit dance. Yes, I would do 3 days of nothing but like showers, eating, maybe go outside a little here and there, and then, you know, it's gonna be like wake up in the morning, smash, take a break, go to bed, go to work, come back home, smash, wake up from the nap, smash, have a couple drinks, smash. Like, some of these people know that, they're like, yeah, I would do that, but they look at the person, they're like, yes, they have the looks, but you know what? I just don't want to disrespect myself like that, because I feel like I want better. You know, I don't want to be the person that like wastes their time, because I know this isn't going anywhere. I know this is not good for maybe like if I have a child or children, blah blah blah. See, I respect that type of shit. I don't care what religion you're in. I have no, this is the thing, what I mean about real. I don't have any, there's no way that I can't respect that. I have to respect that. I have to respect it, right? I have to respect it. Like, now, I'll admit that, like, would I try to convince you otherwise for myself? Because I might want to smash you? Said woman or women? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I would try to convince you it'd be worth your time, you know what I mean? But, I mean, it actually might. I mean, it depends. Like, me as a person, looking for an actual wife, it would actually may be worth your time, depending. I don't know. It depends on you, your opinion. But what I'm saying is, I could not disrespect that. Like, if it was a man, he's like, you know, I know that this girl is hot, I know she's this, I know she's that, but you know what? I shouldn't be wasting my time with her right now. Right now, I should actually be, like, eating my calories, doing my exercise, lifting my weights, getting, you know, building my muscle up, building my body up right now. All she's gonna do is drain me of my cum. I hate to say it, but this is already an adult rant, so I'm going there. I have to say it like that. She's gonna drain me of my cum, have me busting all types of nuts. All my testosterone went into the box. And then, after all of that fun, she's just gonna leave and find someone else to do that with, because she's gonna get bored. She doesn't want no real relationships. I know, she's just having fun. She's living life, you know. So maybe I should just pass it up. Like, I know I hate to say it. I know she looks good. I know she has the ass, and I know what it is. Like, I can see visually. I can already tell what this is gonna be, right? I already know, but I know how this is gonna end. She's just gonna leave, like anybody would. She's gonna leave. She's gonna, you know, ride the cock carousel, as they say, and I'm just gonna be here alone and depressed again, reminiscing about, yeah, that was fun, those 3 days or 4 days of the, you know, the smashing and the smooshing and the this and the that, and maybe go to the bar one night and have fun and talk shit or whatever, go to the park, take a dip in the pool, whatever, then go home and like smash, Hulk smash, She-Hulk smash, you know. No, it's like, nah, not this one, you know? And I can only respect that shit, right? Because the thing is, you're doing something that is seemingly dumb, but you're doing it for the right reason, not for the wrong reason, you know? And that's always my thing. Like, someone could say, oh, well, you're demonic. Yes, I am. Of course I'm demonic. You know, I'm surprised that my head does not turn around all the way and come back. I'm surprised I can't do that. I'm actually surprised I can't do that. I'm just being real. It is what it is. Cat's out the bag. As I always like to say, the cat's out the bag. Cat is out, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. But the thing is this. truth is truth. You know what I mean? Like, truth is still truth. Like, so, like I said, if you're doing in real is still real. It's like if you're doing something for the wrong reason, oh, the sin and this and that, and you know, if you're doing it for all that bullshit, then I can't respect it. And I'm sitting here talking mega shit. I'm sitting here talking mega shit and don't even care about any repercussions. Because it's like, number one, what, you're gonna shut my channel down because I talk shit about Negroes and Christians? And being black myself? Like, what, really? Are you gonna get mad because I talk shit about women? Because I talk shit about supposed homosexuals or closeted men? What you gonna do? Who's mad at me for what? Are you gonna come see me? Really? Are you gonna come see me and get fucked up most likely? What do you want? You want to escalate? What do you want? What do you really want? You know what I mean? Like, what are you really gonna do anyway? So, I'm sitting here talking shit because shame is deemed that shame is put upon your name. What you're doing is cowardly. All these things you people are doing is bullshit, it is cowardly, it is shameful. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. So, we could play this game of that. No, the demonic, the dark, the occult, the satanic, that is disgusting. The sex drive, the deep, powerful thrust, the aggression, the BBC action, the whole bag of this whole, aggressive black men that don't give a fuck, like yourself, that just don't give a fuck and just speak, you know, and just thrust. You guys are violent, you guys are nasty, you're toxic, you're masculinely toxic, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that, you're a bigot, you disrespect your own race, you disrespect this, you do that, blah, 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 blah. No one cares, no one's listening, put yourself. You could come at me with all your judgment, right? You can come at me with all your fucking judgment and all your rage and whatever. But in reality, am I really wrong? Am I really crazy? Or is the world crazy? Am I really crazy? Is it, you know, it's like, think about it, right? Just really think about it. Am I giving you shit that you already knew, but no one else wanted to say it? Because that's a good thing if I'm doing that. Is it wrong that I'm myself? In that I'm owning who I am? Is that bad? Is that wrong? Are you mad at me? Do you want to assault me because of that? Do you have that much hatred? I mean, you can. Like I said, you could come see me if you want. If you feel that strongly, you know? Because arguing with me, the thing is this, arguing is out of the question at this point. The conversation's over. This is all hands, this is all blood and guts, this is all violence after that. Because there is no getting through to you. There's no getting through to you. There's cracking your skull at this point. But there's no really getting through to you. I'm not arguing this, right? This is not about arguing or politics at this point. This is about keep your distance. I'm going to say my piece over this mic, but keep your distance and keep it moving. Unless you want fucking hell. Right? That's what this really is at the end of the day. But because this is YouTube and because I can rant on YouTube and have a mic and I can talk, for those who will listen, because I know some people, like I said, talking doesn't get anything done. It would have to be about skull cracking and hexes. It would have to be about hexing you, skull cracking your skull, and all that crazy shit. It'd have to be war and violence, because talking to you is not gonna work. There's no talking with you anymore. You're not gonna respond if I try to talk. So it's pointless. But right now, this is a rant, so I'm ranting. So I'm intelligibly explaining something to you that maybe you don't really understand or have no care to understand or think about. I'm giving you the ins and outs of the bullshit of this so-called Christian culture, this black Negro Christian culture that may feel so endearing to some. Goddamn thing tried to shut me off, tried to cut me off, and I don't know. I think the computer's charger went unplugged somehow. I don't know. So now I have to do a small separate part before I close. So, like I was saying, own who you are. right? Own who you are, and then see how can you get things you want in life. Those things could be astronomically crazy and retarded. Perhaps, depending on who you are, I don't know. Someone like me is more of a simple person, I just like to have fun. I want to be married. I want to have a wife that I can be like my companion for the rest of my life, that I can enjoy times with, that I could like share moments and times with, because that's all we do in this world is we just have moments and have time and memories and things, but I also want to be able to have just generally have fun, and then I also want to be able to contribute and put back into certain communities and things, like obviously, like I always say, I'm a Satanist, I want to talk to other people that are like me. I want to contribute back into this whole funnel and this whole world of, occultists and Satanists, and I want to try to, basically the whole occult and pagan world. I want to have connections in that world, and I want to be able to contribute back into that, whether that is financially or whatever, or, of some, and then also when we talk about, the whole aspect of the spiritual world, I want to give back to that world. I don't want to I'm not a person who believes in like, oh, you just take. You just take from everyone or everything. No, you always give back. You know what I mean? It's a two-way street. It's not that you just take things for your own benefit. It is that you get yourself in a position to where now you can give back. Right? And give honor where honor is due. I don't care what religion you are. That should be a thing. Generally, that's just the way I am as a person, right? It's like, if you have my back, then I have yours. That's how, it just so happens that I'm a pretty unfortunate person to where, there's so many people that I hate to say it, but I'll just keep it real. They're so lame and so whack and so weak and this and that, and I wouldn't say worthless, but they're pretty much useless. So I can't work with a lot of people. There's a lot of people that there can be no friendship there. There can be no business relationship. They would not be a valued asset to any team of mine or any product or any group or any plan or any type of inner working or making that I would be trying to create, because they lack so much. They don't have discipline, they don't have integrity, they are not strong, they do not have a strong mind, a strong work ethic, they do not have skills that they're willing to put to work. They have no discipline. Like I said, people get out of control. It's like they are too hot-headed, or they're too what's the word? I can't think of it. They're almost like too submissive. Like they can't, like they always yield to someone's opinion. Someone's this, someone's that. They don't know how to say no. They have too much social anxiety. So it's like all this weak shit, all that weakness and all that bullshit. Whatever it is, it's not gonna. There are certain things to where you cannot have that in you. It's not gonna work with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work because I'm here to get things done. There's certain things that when I want to get something done, it has to get done. It's not gonna be anyone's gonna have, because it's kind of like it's okay. It's valid if you have a reason or excuse why you can't do something. But then that means there's the door, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't meet, there's the door. Like, for instance, I don't care if it's as simple as, like, you can't call a cab or you don't want to call the pizza man. You don't want to be the pizza call guy or girl because you have supposed so-called social anxiety. Well, then get your weak ass the fuck on and get out, and there's the door. Then there's no place for you here. Because if you're too weak, someone else needs to do that then. You're useless. Get the fuck up out of here. That sounds mean, but that's how it has to be, because motherfuckers have to know that all of that blue pill coddle shit, suck your mom's titty shit is going to get you out the door quicker than you can blink with me. Okay, like, for instance, can you imagine if for instance, like, let's say if I had the proper camera at this time and I had this proper sound and I was like, okay, so we're going to make, let's say, I don't do TikTok really, like, primarily or much at all, but let's just say, I'm trying to be generous. Let's say, hypothetically, we were going to do TikToks, and I'm like, okay, so I got the lights, I got the light, I have, you know, the phone, I got the camera for a different angle, okay, I have the sound, I have this for this angle, and we're going to do this, right? Because you want to make this TikTok, you've been practicing whatever, your dance or whatever. I hate to say it, but a lot of TikTok shit seems so girly. It's like, it doesn't really appeal to me for whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't appeal to me. Like, I mean, it turns me on, but it don't appeal to me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's a turn on to watch a lot of these attractive girls dance around and twerk and do all this stuff, but, you know, you get what I'm saying. But I'll say, like, let's say hypothetically, and I'm being real generous with this. Like, I'm like, okay, so yeah, me and you are going to make TikTok content today, right? Everything is set up, right? And if you tell me that, like, oh well, I'm feeling shy, you know, I just don't feel confident enough to do the camera. Now, let me put it to you like this. Let me put it to you just like this, right? Now, I'll say it in a nice way, and then I'll say it in the mean way. In the nice way, I'll say, okay, I understand you're not ready for this camera. I get it. You lack the confidence. You just feel like you're not feeling it. You feel unconfident. You feel like you just aren't feeling it. Okay. All right. Then I have to find someone else. Even though you did waste my time because you said you were going to do it. I got the lights ready. I got everything set up. How it's supposed to be. And, you know, you basically just wasted my fucking time. But I could say it in the mean way is, look, bitch, get your fucking weak cream puff bitch ass the fuck up out of here because you've wasted my motherfucking time. Get the fuck up out of here. Like, fuck you. Go suck your mama's titty and go eat some fucking peanut butter and do some push-ups or some shit and come back when you're, like, actually have a spine. See, I wouldn't say it like that, but in my mind, that's the rage I feel. It's like, you little bitch. Like, why the fuck did you even open your mouth if you were going to be a little bitch and not even going to do what you said you were going to do or what you said you wanted to do? Why are you so fucking weak? That's what I'm asking. I always ask that question with people. I normally don't have to say that like that to them, but I always have to ask it to myself internally about them. Like, why are you so fucking weak? Why are you so lazy? Why are you so tired? How come you can do nothing? Why is it that you literally are just so fucking weak? I don't get it. It's like, why are you so weak? What have you been hit with? What disease have you been stricken with, mentally and physically, that you can't get up off your ass and do something? You know what I mean? That you have no creativity. It seems like if you have creativity, you are so weak that you don't know ever how to plus it. You don't know how to bring it up, to step it up to where now you're actually like, you're not just talking about this, you're actually going out and doing this. Not only are you going out and doing this, but you're actually filming it. Now you're actually creating content with this, but it's actually good content, whether people are able to see it or not. You know, it's like, how come you just don't have that drive, or you can't put that into action, right? But then you can sit on your decay stank booty for hours on end and look at some screen and play some video game or do some this or that. Why is that? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, why are you so fucking weak is what I mean. And then you got supposed other people in like other states and all this shit that actually for whatever reason are able to get off of their ass and create something, right? I don't know. But with all that being said, my real focal point on this rant was, like I said, the hypocrisy and the complete and utter ludicrousy
of the Christianity, the Christian culture, the Christian sex culture, Christian dating, the black Christian friggin' culture, man. Oh God. Oh my God. It's a mockery, man. I always have to say, it's like, why do black people have to be so self-defeating? Like, self-defeating. It really is. It's like, I always say this is, being like a black person, I always wonder, like, why is it that our race has to always destroy itself? You always find a way to destroy your own self. Even through your own religion that you just hold so dear to. And you're so superstitious and fearful of every other thing. Everything that would help you, you turn away. You deem as evil, you deem as this, you deem as racist even sometimes. And then you adopt and you cultivate and hold so dear to the very thing that is destroying you. So, this has been The Rant. This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. I think that I'm going to, because I want to start this new thing where I tell stories. People send in people send in stories, and I basically want to tell them. That's not going to be like what the channel is, but that's the thing I want to like have. So I think I'm going to leave the email that you can email the stories into on the screen in this rant. But yeah, this is Steve's Art and Fun channel, and I appreciate every sub, every comment, every like if there are. I think I'm at like I think it's 64. I think 64, or is it 63? I think it's 64 subscribers now. So see, I'm incredibly grateful for that, because like I always say, this channel may be tiny now. I want it to have success, but I'm saying like every subscribe counts. Everything counts. So I'm very grateful for that. I don't know who the fuck these people are. Like, I don't know. I'm wondering like who actually would listen to this. I really don't know. But I'm very grateful for it. And the thing is, like I said, I always try to give back. So I value people who actually have good intentions, people who actually are willing to even subscribe, like, or share. But especially if you're like, let's say if you're someone who lived closer to me, or someone I knew that I trusted, someone that actually I knew could put some type of work in, those are the people that I value the most. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to keep it real. Some people that call themselves so-called friends of mine, those motherfuckers are never anywhere to be found. They don't do shit. They sit around and do fucking nothing. If I text them, I literally I could be an asshole and literally put screen capture on the screen, but I'm not going to be that much of an asshole. But literally, it's like if I text you, it takes you like 2 months to even reply back, or to even read the text, whatever. You say, oh, I miss Steve, or I want to hang out with Steve, and then you're a fucking ass. Like, I text you and you don't fucking text me back for however long. You know what I mean? Like, literally, like I said, you leave a text unread, and then I hear from some other person that you say that you miss me, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. I'm thinking, like, if you motherfuckers wanted to do this or that, like, I'm right here. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? The problem is this. The problem is that your ass really doesn't want to do shit except sit around and play some fucking video game for hours on end, watch YouTube, watch fucking anime on Netflix or Hulu or whatever the fuck you dumb motherfuckers have. That's all you want to do. You don't want to actually get up and do anything because you're a fucking weak, lazy, dumb motherfucker. And you're a dime a dozen, and there's millions of people like you out there. There's only some people who actually are really interesting, who actually have skills, talents, serious about their skills, serious about anything, and actually want to create anything. You other motherfuckers are a dime a dozen, and you're just nothing. That's the problem. That's what the real truth is. The truth of the matter is that you're a diamond, like I said, you're nothing. You're a dime a dozen. You ain't shit. Sorry if that hurts, but it's the truth. Looks like you gotta taste your own medicine. You know what I'm saying? You want to act like you're real and you're this and you're that and you're authentic and all this shit. Well, Now the weight of truth has fallen upon you from a real motherfucker. Just saying. From someone who's actually more real and a harder motherfucker than you'll ever be too. Honestly, that's a sad thing. You know? Those of you who think you're real. You ain't shit. You ain't real. You're full of shit. So, this is the rant. This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. And that's the end of the rant. Have a nice day.